Welcome to Mommionaire Digital Marketing Podcast, where we gather to learn how to use online strategies to build our direct marketing business. Through this podcast, you will be learning how to create offers, funnels, and storytelling so that you can create value for your potential customers as well as your downline. Enjoy the show. Welcome everyone that is coming in. Come on in. Welcome to another night of Empowerment Hour. I'm so excited. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm certain that you're all excited. So just come on in and get ready for another powerful afternoon where we will be having some discussions on how to get your business promoted online through social media. We have a very wonderful young lady that will be our guest speaker, and of course my co-host is here, Prophetess Prophetess Wonder is here. Prophetess, you don't know, probably you will be a doctor in the future, so receive it and everything like that. Of course, we're glad to be here, and so every one of you that are coming in, thank you for joining us at this time, and I know that you're all going to have a wonderful time. So I'm going to just quickly let you know that this afternoon what we'll be doing, we'll be talking basically about businesses and using social media. Our guest speaker has more expertise in this, and Prophetess Wonder will be introducing her and letting you know more about her just before she comes online to give her presentation. So come on in. Welcome. Just let us know where you're watching from. Type where you're watching from. We want to know that you're here, and we want to see who is there. Hello.
Welcome. Yes, please share with your family, your friends, your co-workers. Tell them we're here. Empowerment Hour is here. Get on the phone, tag them in. Let them be blessed today. Welcome. Philippians 4:12 says, I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. I am so excited today because we have a special lady who is going to help us navigate on how to create an online presence. She is an educator, an entrepreneur, an online marketer, and the host of Mom Millionaire. Mom Millionaire Digital Marketing Podcast. Excuse me if I said it wrong. You will explain your podcast to the audience.
Absolutely.
And, yes, as a content writer, she is inspires and equips business owners to create an online presence using social media, which is very important. Please welcome to the platform speaker Christiane Guignard, as she speaks on how to create an online presence for your business using Facebook. Please welcome. Hello.
Nice to see everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. So I'd like to start with my story because I actually, prior to becoming an educator, in 2010, I had lost my job. So my ex-husband was already on unemployment. I was on unemployment. We lived in Long Island, and you know how Long Island could be very expensive. And I remember actually wondering what I needed to do. So I joined a direct marketing business, and I decided to go back to school to get my degree in education. And I literally use social media, Facebook, as well as creating funnels to get my leads. And that's the way I was able to pay for my last 2 years of college to get my degree in education. So I highly believe in this. I am also an educator. I teach at a very affluent school, so technology is major. And I realize how technology is advanced, and we are just at the cusp of something totally different, and we need to get in. And what I'm noticing is that, out there, a lot of men are doing well, and it's a lot of white men who are doing well. And the social media platform, women tend to be a little bit shy, but women of color, there's so few of us doing it because no one's teaching us this. And I always feel like in our community, things come to us at the last time, right? We always get the tail end of a great direct marketing business. We get there at the tail end. It's about time we get to that very point where it's starting, because there's a shift that I see that's going on in the economy as businesses are restructuring, that we, as well as women of color, we need to restructure ourselves and build our own brand online, targeting the audience that are exactly our audience.
Thank you so much. What propelled you to, as a podcaster, what are some of the steps we need to follow to start? Those people that are looking to do a podcast or to go online, what are the steps that you use to start it?
So for podcasting, what I did was I did a 21-day challenge in August. And what I did was I recorded 21 videos prior to starting my podcast. So I do believe in planning. Prior to being an educator, my background was in sales and marketing. So I worked with luxury hotels like the Waldorf Astoria, New York Palace, Marriott Hotel as a corporate sales manager. And so in that capacity, I understand the importance of knowing my target audience, knowing the message, and also really creating my podcast to reach my target audience. But to be honest with you, if God puts a vision in your heart, follow it. Because when it was 2010, I had no idea what I was going to do. And I remember God saying, I gave you the vessels. I gave you the oil. Just pour the oil. And it was overflowing because I was able to pay everything, my rent, take care of my family. And so what I would say is when I did my podcasting, I went at it. I recorded 21 topics that were based on my research about my target market. Don't be afraid. I believe in failing forward. And that's something a lot of people are afraid of, because in our community as women of color, especially as professionals, we have people that tear little chips and chips and chips of us and tell us that we're not good enough. But you have to believe and have strong faith in God, knowing that He's called you for what He has called you to do right now at this time, and to go ahead and take that leap of faith. Even if you fail forward, there are times when I fail forward and I just laugh and I say, okay, I fell forward, but trying is the one thing. Go ahead and plan ahead. What I did was I wrote my scripts for each of my videos, and then I went ahead and did my videos. Some of the videos were so awkward. I had videos where I was using Zoom on my laptop. I didn't realize how to position my camera, how to speak to people. It took a while before I suddenly found my voice, and that took about 2 weeks ago, and I've been doing this since August. So it's just go at it, and God will put the words in your heart. He will put the words in your mind. He will connect you with the right people for your message. Did you want me to continue? Hello?
Yes, please continue. Please continue on to explain how people can create their own content or create their own business. So just take them through the steps with that. Thank you so much.
So the major thing that I always say is before you start marketing any product, you need to understand your target market. Now, some people say your target market are people who are just like you, or just people who are like you before you had this issue. I find that your target market is the people that will buy from you. So for instance, I was a business manager for Nordstrom, right? My target market were very high-end white women. And here I am selling a cosmetic line when I decided to do the direct marketing for makeup. So I thought, hey, that was my target market. They would charge me $150 to come over to, do their makeup. And I was like, because they knew I was a business manager. And I was like, okay, that's the group that I'm going to go to. But then I would dress up real nice. And I had an issue once. I went and dressed up, and I was there. It was very professional, set up everything. And the lady that I met, she was happy to see me, but her mother didn't feel comfortable around me. And then I realized after I walked out, the lady checked to see what type of car, if someone was in my car. And I was like, you know what? Although that may have been my target market professionally, that's not my target market. My target market are women of color. My target market are women who are looking for the skincare products, and this is what they need. And once I knew that was my target market, I went at it. And that was the best decision I made. The second decision I made after knowing my target market, if you're in a direct marketing business, they're telling you to do the same thing, running the same script over and over again. But you know what? Everyone has heard the same script. So you have to find your message, create your message that connects to who you are, and be able to share that message to the people in your target market. But one way of doing it, and this is how I did it, was to use social media platform. When I said I was doing it, I remember my director at that time was like, you're gonna use social media? I was like, yes, I am. And I did. I used Facebook, and that's how I had tons of people who are using my products. They had access to me all the time. I was always talking to them on Facebook, and guess what? Because of that, when I called them and said, hey, I have a new product, it wasn't like I wasn't talking to them before, like, oh, hi, stranger. They knew me because they knew my story. They were seeing my story on Facebook. So at this time, what I would say is before you go into advertising, what you want to do is use your personal Facebook for your business, because that's where, as you are continuing to getting to know your target audience, you're able to know what messages that they respond to and what messages that they don't. So I remember years ago when I had my own cosmetic line, I used to run Facebook ads. And you have to be really good with Facebook ads, because sometimes those ads, you spend so much money on an ad and it flops. So that's why I really believe in identifying your Facebook audience and connecting with those audience in order for you to be able to speak your message, because each person has a message. Talk about so what you want to do is create posts that are value-based, lifestyle-based, and then your product-based, but not really pushing your product, but that has a call to action. So your Facebook, your personal Facebook, is like your front yard. And what people don't realize, in your front yard, you're just welcoming people. You're saying hello and you're saying hi, but you're not selling. Because I see a lot of people do that. They're selling everything on Facebook right away. No, it's your front yard. You're meeting people. You're building relationship. It's about relationship marketing. Because you know what? It's not a one-time sale. It's a continual relationship where they're coming to you over and over again. So once your Facebook, your personal Facebook, is your front yard, but your living room is your messenger on Facebook, where people are starting to interact with you and you're speaking to them and they're speaking to you. And once you get them there, then you could bring them into the other parts of your house, like your dining room, which I would call your group, your Facebook group, where you're really teaching about content and talking about what you know about your product. And you're building that relationship, that community where people are following you and knowing and seeing that you're giving them value, because you're actually answering the problem that they have. You're providing them with the solution. So one of the things that, if you could understand the pain point of your target market for the product that you're promoting, then you can speak about that. You create stories around that, about that pain point. Stories that you've had before you've tried that product, because you need to change your target audience's idea about the vehicle that they're driving and leading them to a new vehicle, which will lead them to their results. So that is the focus, is really understanding your target market. First business, and that was in 2001, and I had my own cosmetic line. I learned a lot about Facebook marketing, internet marketing, online marketing. It was pretty new at the time, and at that time I had taken a course, e-commerce course at Brooklyn College while attending there. And one of the things that I've learned about marketing online is that you're able to make that connection so much faster than that face-to-face. And that's why I really believe that, this new change and shift and restructuring is going to have to do it online, because education is online nowadays. And it's amazing because I've been teaching online since March, and it's been fun. Although I miss being around my students. But what I'm trying to say is that as women of color, we need to take that step forward and really go out there and market ourselves and not market the product yet. Market yourself, build your brand, and build your relationship with your target audience. Because I actually went back into this arena really because I am writing a book. I finished writing my book, but I'm in the process of editing it. And I thought, I don't want a book that's going to be stuck in on the bookshelf, collecting dust, which happens to a lot of us. I wanted to be able to create my audience, be out there again, for them to see me and to build that relationship. So I decided, hey, I'm going to go back to learning about marketing, online marketing, and I'm going to use all the knowledge that I know about marketing in the luxury hotel industry, in the beauty industry, the retail industry, and mesh that together and build a relationship. So my focus right now is I'm building a group of women, and we have a Facebook group called Mommionaire Digital Marketing, and this is where we learn from each other. We talk. Right now I'm talking about Facebook algorithm, which I will be talking about tomorrow to my group, explaining this whole concept of Facebook algorithm. Right now, if you look at my Facebook, my engagement has dropped because I had over 4,400 people on my Facebook, and I'm like, that is too much. These are people that I've accumulated from years, and I'm like now cleaning up my Facebook, my personal Facebook, so that my target audience are the only people that will be on there. So as a result of my algorithm is upside down, but I'm okay with that. For the next 15 days, I want to get to that 2,000 mark of actual target audience. So this way, when I create my message, it goes to my target audience and they get to see it right away. So my thing is, find the place where your target audience congregate, build relationship with your audience, join other groups, and build relationship. Don't go out there and selling, because you're going to get that person from that group. That person's going to be upset with you. Go out there and show value. Help other people in that group. If they ask a question and you know about it, share that information, and suddenly they're going to be wanting to be your friends. I've had tons of people wanting to be my friends, and I've actually held off on it for the past 2 weeks because I need to clean up my Facebook first. So when I had my cosmetic line, I actually used a blog, and I had a website. So when I joined a direct marketing business, what I did was I used Facebook. I created funnels. So the funnels are like websites. What a funnel has that's different than a regular website is that area where the person actually fills in their name and their email address. So that is called a funnel once you see that on a website. And so in the back end, it sends a message to the company, and they send an autoresponder email to the person who has signed up. So email is always key. It's always money. So having those emails, you could always contact your target audience. But I didn't want to do the blogging anymore because of the SEO. So SEO means that you have to use keywords that are very popular in order for your website to be at the top of the ranking when people search on Google. So I decided to use YouTube as a platform. I knew that I wanted to be a speaker. So in order to practice, I decided I'm going to open up my YouTube channel, start talking, and get all the little butterflies that we tend to feel in our stomach when we try something new, get rid of those using that platform and connecting with my audience. But I will say the true connection is in building content, and connecting with people on Facebook group, making sure that your personal Facebook look professional. Sometimes we waste time, right, on Facebook, and we let our Facebook look like, it doesn't look that as a business, or does not look like your branding. You need to know exactly what message that you want for your brand, so that this way, when someone goes on your Facebook, they know exactly what you do. So like right now, my purpose is focusing on my group. So on my Facebook profile, you will see that is my purpose. Also, I have a thumb card that shows you that is my purpose. So I focus everything on creating a group with the ideal audience. So before someone comes into my group, they actually are messaging me back and forth, and we're building a relationship before I even tell them about my group or even give them access to my group. Because you want to make sure you have the right group of people who are looking for the services or your products that you're providing. Any questions?
Ella, thank you so much. I find that it's so important when you're on Facebook, because you're right. You're connecting to people out there. You have to, God didn't give us a spirit of fear. So he wants all his people to prosper. So now is the time. Time has changed. God is moving his people in a different way. Mm-hmm. So we have to embrace technology. And he wants us to prosper and start our own businesses and not work for other people, to work for ourselves and give into the kingdom. So it's so important that we do that. Now, when let's say I'm starting my Facebook, but I don't know, like I have an idea, but I don't have the content. So how did you that's when you come into play. Let's say if I don't have, since you're a marketer, right? A digital marketer?
Yes.
Okay. So I have an idea, but I don't know how to target that audience. Like it could be a book, let's say, for example, a children's book.
Absolutely.
So how would I go about targeting a children's book, like targeting the audience? Do I target the parents? Do I target the children?
So what you want to do is do a specific market search, right? You need to know what age group that is going to be your target audience. Now, when I decided I wanted to write a book, I spent 2 years learning about my target market. And I mean, if you look at my office, there are like papers all around. I mean, from the age group to what they want in life, to where they congregate, to what music they listen to what food they eat. I mean, I was the nitty-gritty. So you want to really know your target market. You need to know them from the nitty-gritty. So if you're writing a book for children, right? Mm-hmm. It is for children, but it takes the parents to get to your book.
Absolutely.
You need to know the parents first. What age group? So you would say, okay, if it's children, maybe the parents are at the age of 25 to maybe mid-30s, that age group. Okay, so is it for children of color? Narrow it down. Is it for people of color? Is it for Caucasian? What group are you? And once you narrow it down, you create different identities. So some people call it different avatars. You create different identities. Why are you creating these different identities? So for instance, let's talk about skincare, right? I love cosmetic and skincare. Let's talk about skincare.
All of us love skincare.
Anti-aging products, right? One of the things with skincare, when you're thinking about anti-aging products, white women has a need for anti-aging products. For them, it's fine lines and major wrinkles, right? Yes. But a woman of color, when we're talking about anti-aging, we're talking about melanin
discoloration.
Absolutely, because we're not too worried about wrinkles and fine lines because we look young when we're not.
God is blessed.
So knowing the specific of so I have a skincare product for anti-aging. I know, okay, so if it's anti-aging, it would be for white women. So what message am I giving to that group? My message is going to be about fine lines and wrinkles. They're trying to get rid of that. Mm-hmm. If I'm aiming at women of color, remember, it's anti-aging. I'm talking about women of color, and I'm talking about discoloration of skin, right? Or maybe skin marks that they want to get out, or maybe darkness underneath the eye. Some of us do have that. Then that, absolutely. But let's think about this. Now you've got 2 avatars. But you got to break it down even more. What are the age groups? Because you have the women 25 to 35 that are into anti-aging products.
Yes.
And you have the women that is between 40 to 55 that's looking for something else. So now we got 4 avatars. We're not done. How about lifestyle? What are the lifestyle of the different groups? So you have to really get to the nitty gritty to understand your target audience, so that this way, when you're presenting your product, you know what type of message. Because, you know, if you're talking about a white Caucasian women, right? You have the soccer moms, you have the corporate moms. Those are different avatars. Now we've added more avatars, right? Then you have the natural moms. You talk about the women of color.
Natural products. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a big thing right now. A lot of women are into the natural products.
Absolutely. So when you're thinking about your target market, you can just say, I'm going to go for women of color between the age of 25 to 35 for my book, you know, for my children's book. No. You have to think about their lifestyle too, because whether they hang out, these different groups, they hang out in different places, and there are different languages that attract them, those different trigger words, right? That changes their psychology to lead them to a buyer.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's good. Habakkuk 2:2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision. You have to start somewhere. You have to write the vision.
Absolutely.
And make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Absolutely. You see, everything, ladies, everything's in the Bible.
Absolutely. And you know what? It says it, without a vision, the people perish, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
have a vision. Women, you know what it is? So many of us women of color were highly intelligent. So we go to corporate. And this is something I actually learned from my cousin, who's a superintendent in Michigan. And she is a graduate of Harvard. And she had taken a class. And she called there's something called from pet to threat, right? We go into a corporation. And when we go to the corporation, they love us as long as we're not a threat, right? So we're a pet. The minute they see our intelligence, now we become a threat, they start chipping away. Right? So you come up with this big idea, but they're like, no. But suddenly they come up with an idea, very much your idea, to just repackage it. So what it does, it breaks our confidence and think that we can't leave corporations and start our own business. And we cannot create our own dreams. And that has to change. And I think technology is that platform that opens the door for us to change. But
Absolutely.
I will tell you, in this arena, the people that are making it, to be honest, are the ones that are faking it. But guess what? People are catching on to them too. A lot of people are realizing those people who are standing next to those very expensive cars, those men are standing with, and they're not really there. They're doing it. And they're cheating people out of money. And the thing is, you really want to learn how to market your brand. You don't want to get you don't want someone to sell you into a training to become just an affiliate. You want to get into that training so you can build your brand, your business, and you can grow. And absolutely.
No, thank you. You know, because it's true. We have to change our mindset. We work for other people, and that mindset has to change, because we're putting our energy into somebody else's business when we can put our energy that God has given us, our mind and everything, into our own business. It's just that, you know, a lot of people, they have the idea, but they don't have the funds. And right now, the internet is a perfect place to start. Like I said, you're not paying for a store. You're not paying for certain expenses that you would normally pay for when you have a business. So God is using his people, and he on this platform, the message is, God is empowering each and every one to step out, to have faith in him, but you have to do the work. You have to step out and believe in yourself. Believe that you can achieve it, because once you believe it and you set your mind on it and you write down your goals and write down the plan, write it down, and then go forth and implement it. And you do it, it's slow. You take your time, you learn how to do it. You take your time and things until you get it, and then you say, okay, I'm ready. And I also know that, did you start on a lot of platforms, or did you just stayed on Facebook for a little while and then waited to venture into another platform?
So what I did was I started on YouTube. I did that 21-day challenge. Okay. And what I did with the 21-day challenge with my podcast, so I had 21 days of podcasts, but every week I started a new podcast. So I was my 22nd, my 23rd, my 25th, knowing that I'm an educator. So I did it in August. So I had enough of podcasts just in case I didn't want to podcast one week. I had that 21-day list of podcasts that were already there in reserve. And it was great, because what happens is, through the process, because I made so many mistakes in that 21-day podcast, that by the time I got to my 30th, I had gotten better, right? So then I'm like, oh goodness, I'm not showing that podcast. I'm going to retweet it. But I listened to it and I was like, okay, now I know what to do. I'm going to do it better and just get it done. So I started with YouTube. And what I noticed was I actually had gotten to a point where I needed to invest in my learning, because there are times when you need to invest in your learning. And I was looking at I knew all the big names that were out there. They were charging like $10,000. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not paying $10,000 for these trainings. So I actually was in a training, but it was a free training. And I had gotten paired off with someone else because it was a master class for a $10,000 product. So while I was looking at this person that I had paired off with, he was doing really phenomenally well with Facebook. Like he was getting engagement, and I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And he lives out in Canada, so I sent him a message, and I was like, what are you doing? Because this is phenomenal. And he was like, let me tell you. So he goes, you can go and pay $10,000 for this package from this person, or you can go and these are big shots, already pre-packaged, and then suddenly they just change the name, but they never change the methods. And he goes, you can do that, pay that $10,000 and never get in contact with that person, because these big shots too, sometimes when you get with a big shot, you're thinking I'm in, right? But you're not really in, because when you try to message them, they don't have time for you.
They're not going to answer you.
See, that has happened to me before. So when he said that hit home. So he told me about this couple that has this training, and it was very much the same as this other big shot, because they had been trained from that big shot, and they were affiliate, and they did very well. And then so I joined that couple because I saw the integrity and the goodness in them, and I actually took the training. And with that training, I'm still learning how to, because I just started with the Facebook. I'm still learning how to do the engagement. But I will tell you, when I joined them, I had already started a Facebook group. I already had my message on Facebook. I already had it look professional. And they were like, no, don't do a group yet. Just start the engagement on Facebook. Do you know that because I had the engagement on Facebook, because my engagement is it's actually all the engagement I have is through Messenger.
Wow. Okay.
So what happens is people do get engaged with my posts, but people send me so many messages, and it is through Messenger that I'm building relationship, that suddenly this group that I wasn't supposed to start, I now have 120 people after a few weeks of doing this, just because of the connection. And I didn't just automatically, because what I was noticing on Facebook, a lot of people were selling their product, like hard sell, like, I'm selling this and that. And I was like, it was turning me off. Like, it really turned me off. I was like, I don't know you. I I want to know you.
You want to connect with the people that are purchasing your product, so that you build a lasting relationship. And that's what they're doing wrong. They're not building a lasting relationship.
Exactly.
They're building a one-time relationship, and we don't want that.
Absolutely.
We want to build a continuous relationship. Absolutely. So that they do buy the product, so they do give feedback. Mm-hmm. You know, oh, I like the smell. I like, you know, the hair care product. Or,
absolutely.
Or if you're doing a cooking channel, oh, I love your recipes that you have on there. So there's so many things. Yes. So you do have to connect with your audience.
And what I find is by connecting with people genuinely, they actually, break those walls of distrust, right? Because why is it that people don't buy from you? It's one, because they don't know you. Two, because they don't trust you. And the third one is because they don't trust themselves, right? They don't think they can do it. So with that in mind, when you're building that relationship, you're creating a bond and you're breaking walls. And Facebook is the best way to do that, because the people can see the pictures of you, pictures of your children, pictures of your family, what you do, who are your friends. And now they have that connection with you. So they will buy from you without even knowing, because they have a relationship and they have a trust. And that's the thing. If you're coming out hard, strong selling, you're not going to have, that's going to be a hardcore, because you know what? People always have that buyer's remorse, right? When they buy something. It's like, okay, did I just got conned? And, you don't want to have people feel like they have buyer's remorse. You want people to see that they purchased something that is of value, because they know you're going to be there with them forever. And that is important. And that's what I liked about Facebook, is because it's allowing me, like right now, what I'm doing is building a group of women. And I really am targeting women of color with my Mommionaire digital marketing group. So when they come into my group, what I'm telling them is what I'm learning. I'm not lying. I'm giving them what I'm learning. Like I'm telling them, like tomorrow I'm going to be talking about algorithm. I'm telling them exactly how it works. Like the other day, I recorded exactly how I'm deleting my friends. And I told them, I said, you're going to see a change in my engagement, because I'm deleting these people that I've known for years that don't even engage with me. Some of these people, I posted something and I had a weirdo responded to it. And I was like, oh my goodness, how did I know this person? And because I've been on Facebook and ever since it started.
Okay.
So with that in mind, then, I also remember this, because as a woman, we have to be careful. When I joined a direct marketing business, it was like, skincare, makeup, everybody, men, women, I don't care. And especially men, I can sell.
Men love to purchase, especially if they see attractive women.
They sell them. Yep, they buy what they want. But you know what happened? I started getting these emails. And I was like, I'm a married woman. I was like, I'm deleting these people. So when I was married at that time, I was like, I told my ex-husband, I was like, listen, look at this. I'm deleting it. Let you know that this being deleted, because I'm not into this adultery thing. So I'm deleting it. So right now, so right now I'm single, but I'm not looking for a man, because I do believe God has someone for me. And when that person comes,
absolutely,
that person. So I'm not looking for a man. I'm looking for my purpose. And that's another thing too, that concept of purpose. When you know that you're doing your business because it's a purpose, you're not running after money. Mm-hmm. I will tell you this. I had joined a mastermind group 2 years ago, and a friend had made me join this mastermind group. And I wrote down the amount of money that I want to make, right? A big amount. I was so excited. I had faith. I'm going to make this amount. And suddenly, after a few months, I wasn't excited anymore. And I kept thinking, why am I not excited? I have a vision. I know what I want to do. And I was sitting down. I like to pray every morning. That's my quiet time. That's my time of Saturday.
Okay. We all have our time that God calls us to pray, or we want to get into God's presence. So some people in the morning, some people's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I was sitting there and I was praying, and then I felt something say, you know what? You put in a money, but it shouldn't be about money. It should be people. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, the minute I changed that to people,
Yes.
Suddenly my personality changed. The way I interacted with people changed.
Mhm.
The way I see what I'm doing changed. I like when people ask me, "Oh, you want to bring out a digital marketing product?" And I'm like, "No, I want to teach. I'm an educator. I want to teach people. If anything, I would want to have them connect with the same people that I got connected, that taught me these strategies, so that they can teach those strategies. Because my vision is to write my book and to publish my book. My vision is for the next level. I don't know what that next level that God has for me, but I know that these are the strategies that are teaching me to market myself. Look, I was on Facebook only a few weeks, and here I am. I have this opportunity to speak with you.
See how God works? You put your faith in the Lord. You let Him guide you. You speak to Him. You let Him know, Lord, your purpose that you have for me, please guide me. And you love what you're doing. And it's important to love what you're doing, because that transforms more than people see that. The people see that you invested your time into what you love to do. And people love to buy from people like that they invest their time and they love what they're doing.
Exactly. There's a sense of excitement and purpose rather than the money, right? I will tell you, I'm a Black woman. We all know what the hustle is, right? When we have to put food on the table for our family, there are a lot of women right now who are suffering, and it's going hard. So the hustle is real.
Actually, the Lord has made it it's an even playing field now. A lot of people are suffering. So, as women, we're here today because, God has a message for somebody out there, someone out there. This is the message that you need to be listening to, because you may have an idea and we're giving you the steps to go implement it, to go for it. Write your plan down, go for it. Don't let nothing hold you back. Don't let fear hold you back, because God didn't give you a spirit of fear.
Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
I see you coming on the platform.
Your mic.
I'm jumping in here right now because I wanted to just also come in, because Christine, you've been doing such a wonderful job presenting. So my thing to you is, yes, we know that God wants us to be prosperous. God wants us to actually be able to share the talents that we have and build on it, and make sure that we empower others. I hear Prophetess Wanda, the women. I don't want the men to get jealous. You know.
No, we need the men.
The men.
We need the men.
Yes.
No, we need the men.
31 women, right?
Yes.
31 women. Remember that.
Right. And then also, what about
men? I don't want to neglect them.
Right. So we know that you've been talking about Facebook and everything, and is there anything that has to do with a budget? Does Facebook cost money? Is it something that makes sense? YouTube, because I know eventually you get to monetize and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And that's important. Is it a minimal budget that the person has to work with? Do they have to take out any money at all or anything? Because we do have people around the world right? And Facebook is just exclusive to wherever you are within your country. It depends on what you are targeting as a marketing, what the products you're marketing, because every country has something that is there, and taking the market within that field and stuff like that. So obviously, we know that Facebook, social media, in terms of YouTube, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, or so, people are using that to put out a statement on what they want to sell. But I'm glad you spoke about the different types of avatar and stuff like that, because that's the way a lot of people are using avatars, and zone it down into categories and making it more real. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people have never thought about that. So do people need to pump money into this? Is it something that they need to have a budget? People might complain and say, oh, in this pandemic, I have no money, I don't have nothing, I can't do anything right now, and stuff like that. But yet still, they want to have a business to reach a lot of people because, you know, and it's so ironic. This morning I was on watching the news this morning. I was seeing this teacher. She actually started some way of helping students, and now she actually has a website where it's pouring in more than she usually teaches.
Wow.
Yes, you know, it's working out on her behalf. One lady decided that she was going to make some t-shirt, use the media, the social media, and
Yeah.
now she has sold over 300 t-shirts by just embroidering. But she, you know, she starts sharing it on Facebook and wherever she starts sharing it, you know. So let's talk about cost. Does people have
Absolutely. So here's what I would say. Because I will be honest with you, in 2010, I didn't have money. So let's talk to that 2010, that woman that I was in 2010, right? Who was getting, my ex-husband was getting, I think, about $150 on unemployment, where they paid bi-weekly, and I was getting probably $200 and something from unemployment, and I was living in Long Island in the town of Babylon. You cannot survive with that amount of money at all. And I will tell you, for that woman, I would say the first thing you want to do is know your audience. So that's the first thing you want to do, right? Look at your Facebook, your personal Facebook. You can use Canva to create a nice Facebook profile that is focused on your message. So if you're looking, say for instance, you're in cosmetic business, right? So you selling a product that you know the anti-aging product is where the money is. So you want to have your profile to talk about, don't talk about your product, but talk about, you know, like anti-aging specialists, right? So people know, oh, you're the anti-aging specialist. And you put that in your profile, in your picture, and you talk about stories and you connect with your audience. But you also want to clean your Facebook so you can have your target market to be the people, your friends. Is one of the ways that I would say, if you didn't have any money right now, what you would do, right? And then you start using that on the small front. Now, once you see, the thing with YouTube is anybody can create a YouTube channel, right? It's very easy. You go on YouTube 1, 2, 3, and sometimes, like my daughter used to show me these kids that were on YouTube that were making millions, and they were just doing nothing. I was like, what are they doing? So if you feel comfortable being behind a camera and you're able to talk to an audience, try YouTube. The thing is, don't come directly at selling. Talk about the problem. Talk about the stories about how this product could help solve that problem, right? Mm-hmm. And then come and build that relationship. As you're building that following, people are going to see you. They're going to send you a message. You start connecting. And what you do, I do small talk. Believe it or not, when someone becomes my friend on Facebook, I send them a message and it's like, hey, how are you? I tell them a little bit about me. I'm an educator. I'm home with my daughter, you know, and I have a little puppy. And you know what? They send me a message back because they realize I'm not selling anything. So, and then you go back and forth, and later on, you could always sell them to what you want. My closure, right, is always to have people join my Facebook group who are business-minded women. So I try to find out a little bit more about them, but build that connection. That's free on Facebook, really is free. But once you start having money and you have fraction, there's a point where you have to pay for your learning because you need that expert who knows how to navigate. Once you get to that point, absolutely pay that money to get the learning. But be careful because there are crooks out there charging $10,000 for things that aren't even worth $10,000. Making sure you find that reliable person that you're paying for, that's teaching you, would be my advice.
I like the fact that you say be the problem solver, because you know, what is it that you can solve, especially in this time of pandemic and stuff like that? How are you solving a problem? Somebody might say to themselves, okay, well, you know, I had a restaurant and I probably have a whole food restaurant or something that do health products or something like that. And obviously, I'm not making money the way how I should because people can't come to the store or something like that. So probably I can see what is it that you're using. I see people saying that they are doing their advertising this type of drink, whole food, tonic, whatever they are advertising, but they're using Facebook. And then they start talking about, okay, so we can do deliveries, because deliveries, and they're telling you that we can deliver just inbox.
Absolutely, yeah, just eat, yeah.
Somebody selling fish, like fried fish, and they call themselves, a certain name. They catch that name, and it's all about the pandemic. Within the pandemic, and they start saying, just we can prepare the pans for you. Just we are delivering within this area. Just inbox and let us know. So they're using the Facebook platform. They put it all over, and it's food, but they're branding food, and they're targeting their market, because they know they're targeting the persons that if you love fish, if you love fried fish, all these different things. So
absolutely, and you know what? Instagram is great for food, because what I have found is, like, what I remember, there are a few places in New York City that my daughter was like, I need to go and get food from there during the pandemic, because what they do on Instagram, they do those short Instagram videos of them cooking the food and making it look really delicious.
Yes.
And so absolutely using those
branding yourself, because obviously you're doing something that that is out there, and you're getting the attention. That's what you want. And they always say that one of the best way to advertise is to verbally tell a friend. So obviously you can share your platform with a friend through social media, because once you share it with one person, then they share it with another person. Absolutely. And the shares get more and more. And somewhere along the line, even if the person doesn't see it now, they're actually going to see it eventually. So I always say, just share as many times as you can, because someone within that person's circle is going to see a share. Then they're going to continue sharing. So your territories are becoming enlarged.
Absolutely.
David said, "Oh Lord, enlarge my territory."
Yeah.
Enlarge my territory, so that your business will become one of them that is out there. Listen, many people can be business owners, but God's people must not only be business owners. God's people, God has to put them in front, say that's it. But even though that person is a business owner, I want you in front.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I want you in front, putting you out there.
Absolutely.
We want business to be known. We want you to be seen. Even in this pandemic, God takes care of his own, and it's very important for us to know.
Absolutely.
All the time he takes care of us. Thank God.
Absolutely.
Thank God.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ. But let me ask you something. For the Facebook, as a business owner, connected to the Facebook, do you have to have like your license or anything to just go into to do your advertisement, like to connect? How would you connect it to your store on Facebook? Like, how would you do that with the Facebook?
So there are two things. There is first your personal Facebook, right? And then you can also have a Facebook page as a public person, right? Right now, the Facebook is really focusing on the Facebook page to be for people who are advertising, putting ads on Facebook. So you're paying for these ads. Problem with ads is that you can make it targeted, but you don't know if the person's going to click. And if the person clicks, you're paying for that, and you don't know if they're going to buy, right? But what your personal Facebook is investing in personal Facebook, because Facebook's concept of Facebook was always to create a community of where people can share ideas and connect. So what I am saying is, use your personal Facebook. Don't go and invest in your Facebook page yet. And the reason why is because you don't know if your message is good yet for your target market. You still refining your target audience. I mean, it took me 2 years for me to fully do my research about my target audience. It took 2 weeks for me to really focus on sending my message, and I'm still cleaning up my Facebook. And if you notice, if you will look at my Facebook yesterday and today, my engagement is not high because I'm taking out like 150 people out of my Facebook almost every day so that I can put in my target audience in there. But when you get your target audience on Facebook, what happens is now they're going to be that you're building a relationship. They're coming to you. They're sending, listen, the engagement is in Messenger. You're getting messages after messages from your target audience. You make small talk, connect with them. You know, give them tips. If you have a restaurant, give them tips about, how to cook a meal in 20 minutes, or how to cook, how to use what you have in your fridge, right? And to create a nice meal. Create those, go live, do a cooking show live, and you'll be amazed how many people will see it on your personal Facebook page and suddenly start sharing it with other people because they love your concept. And that's actually a really good idea if you have a restaurant. So building that relationship on your personal Facebook is very important first, because you're learning your target audience. You're developing into your own person. You're learning your voice. Once you have your voice and you feel that you understand your target audience and you have a good following and you know the good response rate, you know the negative response from your target audience, the positive response from your target audience. Now, if you have the money and you want to go and use your Facebook page to now purchase leads for that target audience, putting different parameters, the specific parameters of the target audience that you know based on what you've done on your personal Facebook page, your personal Facebook, that you know will buy into your product and your services, then absolutely go and buy ads. But till then, use your personal Facebook, because right now, Facebook is really engaging with people who are engaging on Facebook, on their personal page, because their ad page is really for ads. Your personal page is where they're looking for engagement. Are people liking your post? Because they're not showing your post that to too many people right now. What they're doing is they're seeing who's liking your post. If they see when your posts come out, in the first 5 minutes, they see like 10, 20 people liking your post, loving your post, making comments, suddenly it's showing it to everyone, showing it to the other group, in the subgroup.
Oh.
If you want to learn more about Facebook, join my Facebook, and you're a woman of business, because I am targeting women, and you're serious about building your brand on Facebook, absolutely join my group. It's Mommionaire Digital Marketing. If you want, I can type it on here as well in the chat box, but absolutely, because I am doing a lesson on that tomorrow, and it is actually really good, because if you know how Facebook algorithm works, then you can work it in your favor without having to pay for ad. That is the most important thing. So it's Mommionaire Digital Marketing, and I'm putting it on here. I don't have my glasses on because I want to shoot for you.
Yes, it's on there. It's on there.
But absolutely, because why pay for ads when you're still learning about your target audience? You need to know your target audience. You need to know what they like about you, what they don't like. I am monitoring my target audience. Do they like this post? Maybe they like another post. I'm learning. So you learn the process and you grow. But as you're learning your target audience, you're developing into that ideal business leader that you're meant to be, if that makes sense.
Well, thank you so much. That was very informative, because I didn't know that Facebook had like little clicks on it. 10 people likes it, it does that. That's very important to know.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So I just put it up. Join Facebook group Mommionaire Digital Marketing. That's where you can see Christine.
Absolutely.
And so for those of you who are just joining, it is very important for you to be able to have seen that this is the way to go. Don't be like the man with the tie that put it underneath the. I expect you to be empowered. I expect you to do the right thing. And I expect you to take all these sessions and don't think that it is just for just spiritual. We have to think about how God wants us to prosper as his children.
Yes.
Not only about preaching and prophesying, you also have to be able to know that God has called you into prosperity. God has called you to live a life that is full until it is time for you to go and meet the Heavenly Father, until it's time for him to take you home through his rapture. We are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and God has called us to be a people that stand firm in what he has provided for us. He told us take dominion of this earth. And so we need to take dominion in many different ways. Now is the time that God's people need to show that my God shall supply my needs even during
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And then for the people who don't have a job right now, right, who's on unemployment, I always suggest you don't even have to start a business from scratch. If you can find a good direct marketing business with a product that you love, join that and learn from that, because these good direct marketing business, they have a lot of motivational books that you can read that actually helps you to develop as a leader, right? Help you to grow and help you to understand that leadership role. Because when I needed to, pay my bills, I didn't start a new business. I just joined a direct marketing business and made it work, and it's, you need a vessel for God to use. So if you got to borrow your neighbor's vessel so the oil could overflow, then you got to go and borrow it. And so that is the one thing that I want to encourage you, that God wants to bless us, but he wants us to have faith enough that empty vessel that we say that's empty, that we're willing to believe that little tiny oil could be poured into that vessel and overflow to other vessels, more and more and more. So I'm speaking to anyone out there, know that God has you. And I honestly believe this is going to be a great next 4 years for us.
Yes.
Have to operate in the zone of faith.
Amen. So I just want to say thank you, Christine, for being here, for really giving us such good pointers.
Yes.
Please make sure that you get to join Christine's Facebook page, Mom Leonaire Digital Marketing, and she is ready to give you that information and that push that you need. Thank you, Prophetess Wanda, for being such a co-host. And I just want to wish you all a wonderful week as we continue to empower not only the women, but the men.
Absolutely.
Yes. Men, you're also a part of it. Everybody, we're growing in this time.
Everybody.
So thank you all for being with us, and we will see you next week. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
If you would like to get more information on how to build your business using online strategies as well as social media, please go to our website, MomMillionaireDigitalMarketing.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe and also make some comments of what you would like to hear in our next show. Thank you.